Good evening, everyone. I'm calling the meeting to order of the meeting of the Delaware County Libraries Board of Directors. It is 6:31. The first item on the agenda is public comments on agenda items. If you would like to speak to something that is not on the agenda, I would ask you to hold those comments till the end of the meeting. But does anybody have any comments on agenda items that they'd like to voice? Okay, not seeing any. Kathy Biddle, Kathy Biddle distributed a packet to the members of the board electronically, and one of the items in the packet with the minutes from December 15th, 2022. I assume everyone has had a chance to review those minutes. Does anybody have any comments, questions, or corrections? Okay, not hearing any. Can I get a motion to approve? Okay, I heard a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, the motion carries. The next item on the agenda are communications and announcements. Is that you, Kathy?
Thank you, Madam President. As an agency of county government, the Library Services Department is subject to the Pennsylvania Sunshine Act. The act states that for regular public meetings, agencies must provide at least 3 days advance notice prior to the regularly scheduled meeting of the calendar year, along with all further scheduled meetings for the remainder of the calendar year. The notice, which must include the date, the time, and the location of the meetings, must be printed in a newspaper of general circulation and posted at the location where the meetings are to take place. In compliance, we have advertised in the Delaware County Daily Times and have attached the public notice, which was printed on Wednesday, January 4th, 2023 in your packet. And also the agenda has been posted outside the Delaware County Clerk's office. Are there any questions? Yeah. Should I just continue? Yeah. Okay. The next item is DCL open positions. The Delaware County Library Services Department has 2 open positions that we're looking to fill. The first is a cataloging services specialist. This position would be responsible for creating new item records within the library database, acting as a help desk for member libraries with cataloging questions, and training library staff on our circulation system. The second position is an outreach specialist. The outreach specialist will assist with the development and implementation of adult and senior outreach activities in areas of the county that are unserved by a member library, and will collaborate with Delaware County government departments and agencies and member libraries to ensure that Delco libraries are represented at countywide events.
Kathy,
Yes.
are those newly created positions or existing?
No, the first one, the cataloging services specialist, is an existing position. The previous staff member retired at the end of the year. The outreach specialist is a position that had been on our books for quite some time. It was the senior services librarian, and we sort of just rewrote it to fit the current needs of the department.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. The next item is Black History Month. February's Black History Month, and Library Services is celebrating by partnering with Delaware County Council with a reading of The Undefeated by Kwame Alexander, a video recording featuring each council person was taped, and it's being shared on social media platforms and the library's webpage. Women's History Month, much like Black History Month, Council will be partnering with Library Services again to offer an online reading of the book, Bring Me Some Apples and I'll Make You a Pie, a story about Edna Lewis. And this is by the author Robin Gurley. This title is part of the Longwood Gardens Community Read program that Delaware County Libraries has been participating in since its inception in 2014. The Community Read was uniquely envisioned as a collaborative effort between the gardens and community to encourage reading for pleasure and to start a conversation surrounding gardens, plants, or nature. This year's title selection traces the roots of Edna Lewis, a descendant of slaves who grew up to be a famous chef, and it includes 5 kid-friendly recipes. The video recording will be available for viewing across all social media platforms during the month of March. Bingo license renewal. DCL headquarters applies for and receives a bingo license annually, so member libraries can host events and fundraisers. The license was renewed again this year, and this was through a generous donation by the Library Foundation of Delaware County. The next item on the agenda is actually the Library Foundation of Delaware County, and we have representatives from that organization here, and they'd like to tell us some stuff that's going on with them. So come on up. If you could introduce yourself.
Hello, Council, and thank you. I'm Mary Pat Lynham, and I just wanted to start with saying who doesn't love libraries? Or, at the least, not many people have many negative things to say about them. They're free, so or at least that's the perception. They're accessible physically and electronically. Staff, volunteers, and everyone in between tend to be very helpful, friendly, and knowledgeable about the library and its mission. Libraries provide information for fun, for pleasure, for work, for reference, for pretty much anything you could think of. Some of them offer cake pans, and yes, I do mean cake pans to make that nice little cake, giant lawn Jenga, prom dresses, and so much more. We all know that you can borrow a book from a library, but you can also borrow movies, watch TV shows, magazines. It's unbelievable what is available. And access to that is available both in the libraries and online. But I'm sure you're thinking, libraries are great, I know that, but why the heck is she standing here? And that's so that I'm hoping that you continue to support DCL, Delaware County Libraries, and to let you know who we are, which is the foundation, the Library Foundation of Delaware County. And our mission is to support and expand quality library services throughout the entire county. You may not have heard much of us, but we've been around since 1997, and we've had faced many challenges, as many people have, but leadership changes, economic downturns, and the always present and ever chronic shortage of library funding. However, we still are excited about recent progress. One of it is our affiliation now with the Foundation for Delaware County, which I know you're familiar with under Francis Sheehan's leadership. And the board decided to hire someone as a development officer. That would be me, part-time. And we've added, more importantly, we've added 6 really qualified people to our board in this past year. They include a professional writer, a college librarian, an experienced fundraiser, an entrepreneur, the owner of a branding and marketing firm, and a college administrator. So I will let Nancy tell you about our next thing. Nancy is the Library Foundation board president. Nancy Davis.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for having us here tonight. What we want to do now is talk about the ways that we've continued to find ways to support Delaware County libraries. We provide funding and support for those programs, collections, or needs that neither the system nor local entities can afford to offer. Last year, the Library Foundation for Delaware County allocated $55,000 to expand the e-resources collection, distributing $2,000 to each library location. The library locations, the individual libraries in the system, were then able to select the items that they thought were most appropriate for their patrons. Once again, the board will fund the very popular Museum Pass program. $500 will be given to each library for the purchase of passes so that county residents can have free access to local museums and attractions. At the height of the pandemic, the Library Foundation was able to quickly distribute funds for the purpose of PPE equipment for each staff member at every library. The foundation has supported initiatives such as mobile fingerprinting services for staff who interact with children and the All Staff in Service Day. And finally, tonight, we're pleased to announce the kickoff of our latest initiative, the Library Grant Program. Libraries will be invited to apply for $1,500 to expand special collections, host an event, provide a program, or purchase chairs, puppets, etc. for children's programming, whatever is on their wish list that current finances preclude their implementation. Requests for capital improvements, salaries, building repairs are not eligible. Every effort has been made to keep the application process as simple as possible. Applications will be accepted until 3/31/23, and 10 winners will be announced 5/15/23. This is a first time out. This is something we're trying. And the idea is to give libraries a chance to just pick something that they've been thinking about doing and try it out. And in turn, we look forward to receiving requests for funds to support innovative ideas, some of which may be replicated at other libraries in the system. Does anybody have any questions about what we're doing?
I just wanted to say thank you. I actually used one of the museum passes today. I went to the Penn Archaeology Museum, and I didn't realize I had you guys to thank for it.
It's very, very popular, and we try to keep it going every year. And it's a way that families can take children. A lot of families couldn't afford to go in a museum and play and pay for entrance tickets for 4 kids. So, it's a nice thing, and it's also good for the museum because they draw in new people and they increase their visibility. So it's a win-win. And thank you for listening to the latest news about the Library Foundation. It's our pleasure to serve you and the residents of the county. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
everything you do.
Okay, so that's it for communications and announcements. The next item on the agenda is the financial report for January of 2023, which was in the packet. I assume everyone has had a chance to look at it. Are there any questions or comments or corrections to it? Not hearing any. Can I get a motion to approve? Okay, a second? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay, motion passes. Administrators report?
The 2022 annual report. All Pennsylvania state-aided libraries are required to submit an annual report. The report opened on January 27th, and the submission date is Friday, March 10th. This is a reminder that in conjunction with the annual report, libraries are required to either submit financial reviews or audits, and these are due no later than October 1st. Upgraded technology project. Over the next several months, member libraries will be receiving updated technology hardware. The DCL IT team, we have one of them here today, Jason, will be at local libraries to install new 24-inch computer monitors, laser printers, and thermal receipt printers. Several libraries will also be receiving new servers. This project is funded by County Council through the American Rescue Plan Act. The Office of Commonwealth Libraries is the next item. Ms. Lepley and I have started quarterly meetings with the Office of Commonwealth Libraries. We meet with a designated liaison to exchange information at the state and local levels. We've shared this information with Delaware County Library directors and let them know that they can reach out to us if they need us to speak with state librarians on their behalf. I'm going to turn it over now to Assistant Director Lepley.
Thank you. As district consultant, I have been visiting libraries and library boards over the last several months, and I'll continue to do so over the coming months. At this time, I've visited with 18 library boards. The board visits are an opportunity to introduce myself as the district consultant and ensure that board members are aware of the services available to them through the district. I'll wrap up visiting all the boards later this spring, since many meet on the exact same day and time. I've also visited 21 libraries with a few more visits scheduled through the end of the month. These visits are intended to be check-ins with the library directors to learn about what's happening at their libraries, what's going well, and what support is needed. Both board and library visits have been well received, and I look forward to continuing them. Thank you.
That sounds great, Annie. Okay, does anybody have any questions on that? Okay. Committee reports, is that you, Annie? No, who is committee reports? Kathy?
That would be the board committee.
Oh, okay, we don't have any
Yeah.
committees right now. Okay, so the next item is new business. I had asked for this item to be added. It's facilitating communications between library boards. At the last meeting, I had talked about how since libraries generally don't come to these meetings in person anymore, I felt that there was a degradation in communication between the boards. So I just wanted this to be added to see if people have ideas of how do we need to address this? Is this a big issue? Is there interest from the different library boards in facilitating communications? What Annie is doing is great. That's though more between like what the district libraries do and letting the libraries know more about what it is you do. What I'm referring to is communication between library boards where, for example, if one library has applied for the Keystone Grant and is about to do has been awarded the funds and is about to do something with the grant, another library might be interested in learning how they submitted the application for the grant, how were they able to get the grant approved, or if another example is redoing your bylaws or redoing your strategic plan. If people are not getting together in person, they might be missing out on the chance to learn how other people might have approached these projects. So does anybody have any thoughts on the matter?
In the past, we used to, I don't know if this is still valid, but we used to go to other libraries. for our
Right.
Board meetings.
But
But-
now, so the problem is that I think the libraries do like the fact that we broadcast these meetings. It makes it easier. So if you're a board member and you're doing a lot of work for your own library board, it's another issue to come to this board meeting. So they've become comfortable because of COVID with this way that we've given them the ability to dial in instead of coming to the meetings directly. We could say that we are going to mandate that everybody come back to the meetings, but I don't think that would be popular.
Which I agree with. I understand, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Have we, or Kathy or Annie, is there a mechanism to have for you to reach out to the individual library directors, ask them to ask their boards if there is, if they feel if they miss the communication among the board, the different individual library boards at the meetings. My recollection from when I was a trustee was what I really liked was hearing specific special activities or fundraising activities or just
Fundraising is a big
community
one, yeah.
activities
Mhm.
that different boards were doing that might give our board ideas about
Ideas. That
cool
was a big
things
thing,
we
yeah.
could do too.
I send emails about this meeting directly to some board members that I have their contact information, plus also to the directors. So, as far as a mechanism, I don't understand what you're asking me.
So basically, Kathy, the way they're, what Helen's asking is, to have somehow to get everybody back together somehow and be able to communicate with one another. It seems like since, all right, granted, COVID had done a lot of damage that we had to go virtual just because of that. But now that, we're in I guess the after phase of COVID, we're done. We're trying to get all the libraries to come back to see each other, talk to each other, share ideas, share thoughts. So that way all libraries are somehow successful, basically.
So Kathy, to follow up on what Inder was saying, I guess what I was envisioning as a mechanism would maybe start out as an email to the library directors from you or Annie, just saying, our board, the Delco board is wondering if the individual library boards miss that type of interaction. And should we be looking for ways to promote it?
To facilitate communication between the boards. And then, like, if they are interested in it, we could put together a committee to come up with ideas for how we could possibly do this. One of the ideas could be to mandate everybody to come back, but we don't want to do that if there's another alternative that would get the communication flowing without them having to truck here.
So what I'm hearing is that this request is twofold. One, we should determine, do the boards miss that interaction? Yes.
Yeah,
And
and
then
do
the
they see it
second-
as important?
And
Yeah.
do they see it as important? And the second, as if they do see it as important, would they want this board to form some sort of committee to come up with ideas of how to create that
Yeah.
interaction?
Yeah.
So yes, we can do that.
Does
We
that
can-
sound okay to you guys? Yeah.
It seems like it would need to be directed more to the chairs of the various boards rather than the staff. I mean, if.
Right, but I think, so she has a direct line to the directors. She may not have the email addresses for each of the chairs of the boards, so she can ask them to forward this on
Yeah.
to them.
Actually, Annie does have
Okay.
the contact of the board presidents through the annual report process.
Okay.
They're required to submit the board president's contact information. So we could reach the boards that way, also CCing the directors so they're aware. And we could start that way. Does that
Yeah.
sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
Survey, I guess, in regards to what they feel.
Yeah.
And then from there, we could proceed.
And Kathy, just in case, I envision that some of these board chairs might be new. They might not even realize that these meetings used to be held in public. You might want to just point out some of the benefits that we felt were achieved by meeting in person. Like the libraries used to get up and make a statement like, here's what's going on at our library, here's how we're raising funds. And then you would hear other people saying, oh, wow, that's a great idea. Let me maybe go back and follow up on that. Okay, thank you very much, Kathy. Old business, election of officers. We did that last time, right?
No, actually, we have to elect officers this meeting.
formed the committee.
Results right here.
Oh, right. That's- Okay. Okay, thank you.
Subbing in,
Thank you,
that's-
Doug.
I've been
Thank you.
practicing.
Okay, Doug, there was a committee formed to elect offices or to put together a panel for the executive committee, and Doug was on that committee. Doug, can you give us the results of that?
Sure. The nominating committee has worked with the board and is pleased to present the following 2023 executive committee candidates for your approval. President Helen McCrane, Vice President Jenny Schulbank, Treasurer Inder,
That's okay.
and Secretary myself. And just if there are any questions or comments from the group?
Okay, hearing none, can I get a motion to approve? A second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're all elected. Okay, now's the part where we have public comments that are not limited to agenda items. If you do want to comment on an agenda item, you're welcome to do that. But if you also have other comments, please feel free to come forward. Hi.
Library and Resource Center, just with the report of what's going on at our libraries after your discussion you just had. So we're here to report on our library. The library collected more than 500 prom dresses recently, shoes and accessories for our second annual giveaway. More than 400 items have been distributed to area students at no charge.
Oh, nice.
So, and then the Friends of the Ridley Library are planning a used book sale for June 2nd to 6th at the library. We will begin accepting donations Monday, April 3rd. The library has become a go-to location for the American Red Cross blood drive events. 8 events were held in 2022 and 261 pints of blood were collected. We were talking about fundraisers. We did a few fundraisers last year. We did a Stocks Pound Cake fundraiser again. We did a couple raffle fundraisers. And we were going to do a restaurant fundraiser at Anthony's Coal Fired Pizza, but then they went out of business. So we couldn't do that, but they donated a gift card to us to as like a consolation prize. So we used that for one of our raffles. So that was helpful. The library will host an informational session on the MVP recovery program on March 6th. This program is linked to the county LETI initiative, allowing individuals seeking treatment for addiction to use local law enforcement as a resource to contact treatment partners without the threat of arrest. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment? Okay, hearing none, can I get a motion to adjourn? Second?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Have a nice evening, everyone.